Many of you younger people didn't grow up on McDonald's, so maybe this doesn't make sense, but the secret sauce in a Big Mac tasted like Thousand Island. What is the secret sauce in the game of business and the game of life? It is soft skills. Engineers doing engineering work don't really get rich. General family doctors don't make a ton of money, or dentists don't make a ton of money. Architects don't make a ton of money just doing blueprints. And lawyers that push paper don't really make a ton of money. Where's the money? The money is in the people part, managing other engineers, architects, lawyers, owning the doctor or dentist office. So I say it's a transition from going from technical to people interaction. It's okay to still have engineering skills, but to go from 120,000 to 200,000 means you're going to be the manager of 15 engineers. And what makes you stand out? What makes you the engineer, architect, or lawyer that becomes the boss of other ones? I think it's the soft skills. And what dictates the success of a dentist or doctor's office? I think it's also the people skills, interacting with customers and staff. Dale Carnegie, way back in 1936, wrote a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. If it were released today, I would argue it still has the same soft skill knowledge that you need. He's been providing training to people for soft skills for over 100 years and has global franchises, making other people feel important, listening, not trying to win, trying to find a solution where both sides feel like they had their way, are some of his things. What about someone named Tom Peters? Tom Peters was big on corporate research and consulting. Now he has a ton of information where he's kind of mentoring us now that he's entering his twilight of his career. He's big on training. He thinks your brain needs training. You don't get good at playing the piano, hitting a golf ball, running a marathon without tons of training. Same goes for the military. Anything in life you get good at requires training. So, how could work be different? And it's hard to argue with that. He thinks that culture in an organization matters, and that means respecting people. And your brand also stems from what you stand for. So, Dale Carnegie type skills, listening and networking are something he's big at. There's someone named Dan Goleman. He wrote a book called Emotional Intelligence back in 1995. And he discussed the four things that are really important: being aware of yourself, managing yourself, having social awareness, and then managing relationships. These are the modern day soft skills. An author I really like by the name of Dan Pink has great info on emotional intelligence or soft skills. He says there's four different things in life. Your IQ can matter. You need to have some intelligence, and if you have a lot of intelligence, you can work that to your benefit. But there's more than IQ. There's EQ. That's your emotional quotient. That means, how do you get along with people? Are you aware of your own behavior? Can you monitor yourself? Can you manage it? How are your relationships? Then he also brings up CQ, your curiosity quotient. People are always changing. Each generation, Gen Zers are different than Gen Yers than Gen Xers. How curious are you into what's changing both in terms of humans, technology, customers, globalism? And Dan Pink also is big on saying that really everything in life comes down to sales. And I agree with that. You're either selling your idea of, hey, hire me in an interview. You're trying to sell yourself to a potential spouse. You're trying to sell yourself at work when you're trying to sell goods or services. It all comes down to sales and human interaction. Who are some great leaders? And let's see if they have soft skills. One of my favorites is Herb Kelleher, the founder of Southwest Airlines. He's since passed away. He was very good in suing to get permission to have a small regional airline in Texas when the big boys wouldn't allow it. His focus was on every employee counts. Baggage handlers, ticket takers, and airplane cleaners are more important than a lot of his executive staff because they impact the customer. And everyone is part of the team. And we look at the baggage handlers as an important teammate. He respected people. A basketball coach for the San Antonio Spurs has been very successful for the past 25 years, Greg Popovich. What makes him successful? Respecting his players, getting input from them, not running a dictatorship, showing care for them, acknowledging different cultures, and getting to know them as more than basketball players. Having social events where basketball is not discussed. So he's great with people. And then, more recently, Satya Nadella from Microsoft Corporation, I think has done an amazing thing of getting a huge company to pivot, which is real hard to do. He's gotten all Microsoft to go to more of a cloud-based company, and he's won over entire departments and businesses with his soft skills, and his soft skills include a different kind of awareness because he has a child with autism, but he has learned to listen to other people, look at all viewpoints, think globally because he originally comes from India. So these three great leaders are really great soft skills in addition to having technical skills and IQ and all that. I think their EQ is what sets them apart, and also their CQ, or their curiosity quotient. So, in the business world, after World War II, we loved military people because we were doing manufacturing. And then we said, hey, athletes are really good. They have toughness because we're still doing some manufacturing, but now we started shifting to services. Our economy's different. The workforce is more female, more diverse. So is it really toughness or empathy? Do we need tough people or compassionate people? Soft skills are very important in business and the game of life.